Hi there, it's Sam from the Baptist Union of Scotland. Welcome to our video.
Hello, Sam also here from the Baptist Union of Scotland. We'd love to tell you about a new thing we're going to do. Over to you, Ali.
Yeah, and it's me, Ali. What we're going to do is we enjoy the delights of Zoom and having conversations where we're all locked up. And over the coming weeks, we're going to just record a few chats with people from our family of churches from all over Scotland. So we're going to have short chats and we're going to post them regularly. We'll work it out as we go. We're going to find it out. It's going to be a bit of fun. There might be a few people invade the conversations as we go on. And yeah, hopefully enjoy them. Let us know.
Hello, here we go.
Right, can we try it again? Let's do it.
Chat, take two. Woo!
Brilliant.
Anyway, we are actually recording, and the first 10 seconds is just us breathlessly laughing. I just thought it'd be good for us to get together, have a wee chat. Me and Ruth are coordinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are, totally.
Nice.
Lovely. I just thought it'd be good just to chat, see how we're all getting on, if we've killed any family members that we're living with in lockdown. Probably best not to broadcast that. And just to see what life's like for each of you guys. But do you want to introduce yourselves first?
Yep. Okay, I'll start. My name's Abbie, and I live in sunny Leven by the sea. And what?
Sunny? I don't know.
Not today, but most days, East Coast life. And I'm a children and families worker at Leven Baptist Church, and we usually always hanging about with pals, but in lockdown, life consists of PJs, working on my laptop, a lot of Disney Plus, and chatting to people via the camera rather than in real life. But that's me.
Via the camera.
Yeah.
What's been your Disney Plus program of choice?
Moana.
Oh, interesting.
Hannah Montana, and Lilo and Stitch. That's all I've made it through so far.
Oh,
I've tried it all three. All three.
You cried at Hannah Montana?
Yeah, let's not go there.
Hey, can I just back you up on that, Abbie? It's quite emotional towards the end.
It really is.
Wait, Hannah Montana?
Yeah. When,
It's a good film.
when the journalist at the end.
Right?
Ali,
Exactly.
Ali, no.
At the moment.
How can you sit there and say that you nearly cried at Hannah Montana?
I don't think it was a nearly. I think it was.
I think it was. You're a grown man. Anyway, Ruth.
Can I just ask you, right, is this channel free on Council TV, or do I need to do something special?
Meet pay.
No, it's subscription, so it's £5.99 a month, like Netflix.
I'm
I'm
out.
not going to see it then, am I? Not going to see Hannah Montana. Never
You
mind.
can have a profile on my account, though. You can do different profiles, can't you?
Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about
I
that.
would imagine we probably don't like broadcast you saying, would you like to steal from the Disney Corporation? On
Oh,
the
no.
That's why I said
She will be invoiced. She will be paid.
no. I think we'll just forget Hannah Montana for now, thanks.
It's a shame.
Take one a month. Direct debit. Anyway, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell
Yes.
us who you are.
So I'm Ruth Kelso, and I'm from sunny Knightswood by the canal in Glasgow. I have a mixed title of community/youth/ sometimes family, little bit of everything else, worker at Knightswood and teacher at the same time. Well, in a different way.
So you teach as well,
Yes. Yep.
which is lovely.
Yes.
Do you guys want to tell us something that you've been thinking about over these past couple of weeks in this new season of life? Ali, do you want to start us off? Something you want to...
I've had loads of thoughts. Most of my thoughts consist around, please can I get out my house at some point? I think, seriously though, my big thought is just, I realised if you don't actually go for a walk each day, it has a knock-on negative effect day. So yesterday was very complicated. I seem to spend my entire life on Zoom, not through my design, but because I had to do some work stuff, and so I never got out properly. And today I'm just like, I never got out yesterday. I can really feel that. So I think just the simplicity of actually fresh air and walking is amazing, or couch to 5King, which I'm attempting to do again.
Me too. Desperate measures, Ali.
Who's your narrator? Who's your coach person?
Sanjeev Foley.
Sanjeev Foley.
And Naveed.
Although
he doesn't do it as Naveed, I think it would be funnier if he was just Naveed in your ear.
That would be
good. Abbie, I'm assuming you've got Sarah Milliken.
Of course.
Yeah, I thought so.
Beth.
Just a bit too predictable.
That's me.
The one time I did couch to 5K, when I say I did couch to 5K, I was lying in bed listening to the thing. It was Joe Wiley.
That's a good
like Joe Wiley. Ruth, what have you been thinking about recently?
Well, just before we talk about that, did you imagine yourself doing the 5K when you were lying in bed? Did you get that far, or did you just...
And then I started to feel my asthma play up and I thought, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Not worth risking your health. Really
no. My inhalers were low at the time as well. Anyway, Ruth, do you want to tell us something you've been thinking about?
I think, I quite often say to people, I'm quite happy being on my own. I like spending time on my own.
Yeah.
See when you've got this feeling that you can't just choose what you want to do, you realise actually I like being on my own, but I love my freedom to pick and choose when I want to be on my own and when I want to be with people. So
yeah.
But I think for me over the last week's probably changed from last week, because last week I was like, right, I'm not a technology person, but I was like, all these different technologies, I better get used to them all and be using all this multimedia. I'll be like on the Zoom to everybody all the time. But see, after about 2 days of, like you say, constant people and Zoom calls and everything, you start thinking, I just need a few minutes to myself. And actually, I think I'm realising that everybody's in the same boat. And although we want to keep communicating, it's that kind of try to get a rhythm and realising that we all need it's a new rhythm, because we're in the house with a lot of other people that we're not used to being all together in the house, or we're in the house alone, but constantly talking to other people isn't really the way to be either. So just try to get this sort of rhythm and routine and realise actually everybody else needs it as well, so they don't need you bombarding them with loads of ideas and stuff and information. So pace and rhythm, I think, are the two things in my head.
Yeah. Like in this time I've got a lot of free time and stuff. So what kind of things have you been doing to keep busy and creative? I've been doing nothing. I'm just going to put it out there. I've pretty much been doing nothing.
I'm just going to say, I don't understand why people have got loads of free time. I have literally this week and last week felt like I have had no time to myself at all.
Yeah.
Because I feel as if I'm trying to in everything that I do, because I would normally, everything I do is with people, and it's pastorally, it's meeting people, it's checking that I was going and doing stuff where I'm speaking to kids, I'm running clubs and all that kind of stuff. So I feel as if, although when all that stopped, I thought, brilliant, I've all this time to do stuff. And actually, I've spent all that time trying to work out how to now do my job, as it were. So I've actually found that I've absolutely had no free time. And I'm even doing, like what Ali said, trying to carve out a bit of time to say, right, I need to get out and have a walk, get a bit of fresh air for myself. And when I'm doing that, and something I never ever did before, but I'm leaving the phone in the house. Just like, that phone is staying in here and I'm going to get peace and quiet for a wee half hour's walk.
I think that's what's weird about working from home though, is like days off and stuff. I'm like, it's so blurred, because before it would be very distinct. Like I was really good at being like, okay, I'm in the office or I'm not in the office or whatever. Yeah. Whereas now every day looks the same. So like yesterday I had a day off, but the only thing that was different was I wore pajamas and I did some colouring in. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to make distinctions between, in your mind, between working from home and being off, because usually you can separate your home environment from your work environment. And
hold on, Abbie. You were in your pajamas, colouring in, watching Hannah Montana. Have you become 10 years old again?
I need to relive my childhood. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's hard because usually I would have really good mindsets of like having time for me and like being off and stuff. But then it's also weird because it's like the world never has a day off either because this is taking over everything. That's like actually there is no like routine anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's the thing is trying to like. I kind of got a bit annoyed the other day. I was like, why is everyone going on about finding creative things to do around the house? I've never really tried to intentionally do that. But then after 4 or 5 days of being in the house all the time, working in the house, I'm like, no, actually, I really need to be intentional with it because otherwise I'm working or I'm watching TV. It's either or, and I'm not actually got any real outlet to express myself. Otherwise, I end up just feeling exhausted and then switching off and vegetating in front of the TV.
Yeah.
I took my journal out the other day there because I thought I'll do a bit of journaling because this would be really good to like record what's going on, because actually it's something I used to do in the past. Like if I was going travelling or something, I would always write it all down and then just take the diary or the journal back out again and to read through actually what happens day by day. You think, wow, did I live through that? So I thought it would be really good to do that during this time. I got as far as putting the journal out and putting the pens on top of it. So I've missed the first lockdown. I just thought that would actually be a really good idea, which I'm going to, as part of new rhythms that I'm trying to bring in, and I've set up my desk now in the living room in a different place from I would sit and watch TV, in a different place from I would do schoolwork. So I'm trying to just have a different station for different stuff to get my mind into this is work, this is not.
And that's the thing, is that we're needing to get our heads around it all, around how to live in a new way. And I suppose that also applies to church. And you guys are involved in local church leadership. So how are you guys connecting as individual churches and trying to innovate within this new space?
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I'm being super creative or innovative because I feel like there's been so much pressure to be doing certain things and to be the one that's like on it and the one with all the new ideas, and I find that a bit stressful and overwhelming. But I think what is really cool is that there are so many people who are doing that and that are doing that really well. Like there's people who have come up with some amazing resources really quickly and have taken this opportunity to just be like, look, here you go. And I'm really thankful for those people because I've used that stuff and it's good. And I think for like my families and kids, I know what they would engage with and what they wouldn't, and so there's no point in me creating all this stuff that actually I know they'll never use. But if I know that actually a couple of things will be really helpful for them at the minute, then I'm sending those out and kind of connecting through that. As a wider church, I think our biggest focus was to not kind of stop stuff like point blank. We found it really hard that like a few weeks ago when everything was stopping for the first time, it just felt like the whole community was like, actually everything's stopping, it's over, and we found that really kind of hopeless. So we tried to, with everything that we stopped, kind of say this is stopped, but here's some kind of thing in place of it, and that, you know, it was never like a alternative completely, but just kind of lots of stuff online, making sure that we're commenting people. Something we're working on at the minute is like a good newspaper, so we're creating like a double A4 side sheet with just solely positive, hopeful stories on it, like recipe ideas, garden ideas, a kids corner, and we're putting that online and hoping to kind of get people to print it, give it to their neighbours, just trying to be like and I think the big thing I would say is it's small things that you know your community and church would engage with. There's no point in making an all singing, all dancing thing for people that you know can't use that. Like if that is what people will use, then put your effort in to make it. But for us, it's about knowing our community and what will work for them, what will encourage them, and putting our energy into that, I think. And that seems to be working well, and we're having good kind of connections with people and stuff. So,
yeah, I think you're right. I think it's I think that's almost not a mistake. I didn't quite go down the line, but last week in my head I was thinking, right, I need to do all this technology stuff, but actually realising, okay, what young people do I have? What would they connect with? They're quite quiet, some of them quite shy. Are they all going to want to be on a Zoom call right away? And actually probably not is the answer. So it's just taking, I'm not saying we won't do that, but taking it a step at a time, and at the moment just connect and just maybe a wee WhatsApp message or something and make sure they're okay, because they're all trying to get to used to working, you know, at home, schooling, and that sort of stuff. Same with the families that we've got. Like, everybody's trying to get to grips with a new routine, and just one or two wee things. So, in like for us as a leadership, our first thing this week was really getting on the Zoom and having a leadership meeting like the way we're doing just now, and just getting used to that with everybody before we sort of roll that out into thinking, okay, our Wednesday night groups, our prayer course, you know, we'll maybe try and do that through Zoom, but just one step at a time. Let's try this out a few times first. And you know, in terms of Sunday morning, well, Gus has been working on that, but just something that we can all tune into on YouTube. So we're all tuning in at the same time, we're watching something together, but over time we'll start to do let's a wee chat about that on a different media, whatever. And I think the other thing I'm hoping to do is just really simply set up a Facebook page that's closed for families. So we put the stuff up and say, look, here's a good couple of links. They're really simple stuff. If you want to just connect in with that with your kids, show them this little video, and then, you know, put up your photos of the kids doing a craft or whatever. It's safe. It's a closed group. You know, we've got one already for the toddlers. They do that, and it's just a safe way of keeping in touch in a way that we know people will, because it's a medium they're already using.
I think that's a really important point you've both kind of articulated when you've said that actually you've had to know who your families are, you need to know who your young people are, and that actually the context is really important. So there's no point in creating and innovating all that stuff, but it's just going to go to waste, and it's not fruitful. It's just good work, and it's pointless. And I think that's when you just start to create stuff, that's when you kind of start to realise that there might be some like bad motivations behind it, whether it be out of like striving and performance or trying to appear impressive. Whereas if you're genuinely trying to create something for your context, that's when it's about a heart to serve and bless people around you, I suppose. Do you, Abbie, Ruth, Ali, or myself, have anything Sam, do you have anything encouraging you want to say? Is there anything encouraging in this time, though? Anything encouraging you?
What's been really nice is actually people that are just friends who you normally maybe text or whatever and don't see them for months at a time, are suddenly saying to you, I'll give you a wee FaceTime tonight, and actually you're speaking to people a lot more than just communicate, just firing off a wee text, how you doing today, to people that don't normally bother. And it's really nice to have that communication. I think just people are more conscious of each other.
Yeah, it removes the superficial layer of relationships as well, because suddenly there's something a lot more important to talk about. So it's
Well,
sorry
Ruth.
No, I was just going to say, we've been, before all this started to happen, we were like thinking about prayer, and you know, I've been reading Pete Greig's stuff, and it's just, you know, just starting to read, looking at Red Moon Rising again, and just been really encouraged by everything going on in that, and thinking this is really a time where let's get together, let's get the Zooms all sorted out and doing some prayer together, because once we settle into a pattern, there's going to be real opportunity. I mean, we pray on our own as it is, but just to be praying and really doing seeing something happen through praying together.
Yeah. That's smashing.
It's smashing.
It's smashing. Sweet. Well, it was nice having a chat and a cuppa. Next time we chat, Ruth, I'll make sure my mug.
Yeah, just text me again and we'll do that again. Just
don't worry, we will coordinate.
Yeah.
Sorry, Abbie, I let you down. I didn't.
I know.
Well, actually, you've got a very similar mug. You and Ruth, Charlie.
I do have a habit on it.
Funny.
You get a habit in